In the heart of a dense, ancient forest, where sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy, lurked a fearsome creature known as Abnaiu. This enormous behemoth possessed a physique that oozed both awe and terror, with muscles rippling beneath its shaggy, bristle-like hair. Its eyes, filled with unbridled rage, burned with an intensity that sent a shiver down the spines of those unfortunate enough to cross its path. Legends spoke of Abnaiu's extraordinary physical strength, capable of toppling the mightiest of trees with a single swipe of its massive claws. Its snarling maw was filled with razor-sharp teeth, capable of tearing through flesh and bone like paper. To some, it was a godlike being, a nightmare incarnate, capable of untold destruction. Amongst the villagers who called the surrounding forests their home, tales whispered of the unfortunate souls who had encountered Abnaiu's wrath, those whose curiosity led them astray, or those whose paths diverged into the creature's territory were destined to face a fate worse than death. There was a twisted ritual to Abnaiu's rampage. An adult Abnaiu possessed a wicked, corkscrew-shaped steel protrusion embedded deep within its chest. Painstakingly forged by some forgotten hand, this grotesque weapon held a dark purpose. It was whispered that pressing the victim's trembling body against this jagged instrument, Abnaiu could slice them effortlessly in half, severing their life force mercilessly. There was another chilling aspect to Abnaiu's cunning. It seemed to possess an unnerving sense, an ability to know in advance the name of those who sought its fearsome lair. Hunters, shepherds, or even the curious souls who foolishly believed they could best the creature. All were destined to find themselves on Abnaiu's macabre radar. The tales varied as they passed through generations. Some believed that it was not chance or happenstance that led Abnaiu to its chosen victims. The creature's commanding presence hinted at a darker intelligence, a twisted form of sentience that allowed it to toy with its prey, whether through a sinister pact or some unknown supernatural power. Its victims found themselves ensnared in a seemingly inescapable web. Yet, as the legends grew, so did the heroes who dared challenge the fearsome Abnaiu. Warriors with hearts pulsating with a desperate determination ventured into the heart of the forest, their weapons gleaming with defiant hope. For each hunter who sought to decimate the creature, their fate lay delicately balanced between glory and oblivion. Despite the valiant attempts to vanquish Abnaiu, the unfortunate truth remained that none had survived their encounter with the mighty creature. From courageous warriors to skilled hunters, each had met a gruesome end, their lives snuffed out by the sheer power and fury of Abnaiu. Folklore spoke of the countless heroes who had dared confront the creature, armed with the finest weaponry and accompanied by their loyal companions. They marched into the heart of the forest, their hearts pounding in anticipation, with unwavering determination. They sought to rid their land of the terrifying presence that cast a shadow over their lives. The villagers mourned their fallen heroes, the memory of their bravery etched in their hearts. Yet whispers began to circulate, whispers of a tale that seemed too fantastical to believe. Legends hinted at an ancient prophecy, hidden deep within the annals of forgotten lore. The prophecy spoke of a chosen one, destined to possess the strength and knowledge to face Abnaiu and emerge victorious. Rumors spread, capturing the imaginations of those burdened by the continual reign of terror. Hope ignited within the hearts of the villagers, eclipsing their despair as they clung to the possibility of salvation. The elders, guided by ancient texts, sought to unravel the prophecy's cryptic message, piecing together fragments of wisdom from the lore of their ancestors. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. as the village prepared for the arrival of the one foretold by the prophecy. Rumors reached the ears of a young and unassuming shepherd named Amara. Though her frame was petite and her life had revolved around her flock, something within her stirred. A spark of bravery, perhaps, or an unexplained connection to the ancient forest that surrounded them. As whispers of her name seeped into the surrounding villages, Amara discovered an inner resolve she never knew existed. Drawn to the compulsion of destiny, she embarked on a perilous journey towards the heart of the forest. Her steps were guided by a relentless determination, every beat of her heart a testament to her unwavering will. With the villagers' hopes placed upon her slender shoulders, Amara ventured deep into the darkened realm of Abnayu. Guided by a conviction she couldn't fully comprehend, she pressed forward, undeterred by the eerie silence that enveloped her. Each step felt heavier, every breath more laborious as the atmosphere seemed to thicken. Suddenly, a haunting presence began to pervade the air. Gust that whispered tales of dread and sorrow. The ground trembled beneath Amara's feet as Abnayu emerged from the shadows, the embodiment of immense power and untamed fury. With eyes narrowed, the creature locked its gaze upon her, sensing the approach of its would-be usurper. The battle that ensued was one of unparalleled ferocity, a clash between an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Amara's determination burned like a flame, matched only by the unyielding wrath of Abnayu. Each blow exchanged between the two combatants echoed through the forest, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Time seemed to hang suspended as the battle waged on, the clash of steel against claws, and the roar of anger mingling with the cries of pain. With every passing moment, it became increasingly evident that Amara's strength lay not just in her physical prowess, but also in the unshakable resilience of her spirit. As fate would have it, the daunting battle between Amara and Abnayu reached its climax amidst the unforgiving darkness of the forest. Though Amara had fought valiantly, her determination and spirit were ultimately no match for the overpowering rage and strength of the colossal creature. With a thunderous roar that echoed through the trees, Abnayu struck Amara with a devastating blow, sending her crashing to the ground. In that final moment, the hopes and dreams of the village were shattered. As Abnayu's fury claimed yet another victim, the air hung heavy with grief, the villagers mourning the loss of their chosen one, feeding on the adrenaline of its triumph. Abnayu unleashed a deafening roar that reverberated across the forest. Its bloodlust barely sated, the creature's red eyes scanned the horizon, searching for its next target. Slowly, deliberately, it turned its attention towards the nearest village, a place known as Valdiran. Within Valdiran, despair reigned as whispers of Amara's demise reached the villagers' ears. Panic cascaded through their veins like a poison, forcing them to confront the grim reality that had plagued neighboring villages for generations. The devastation wrought by Abnayu was imminent, and they were next in line for its wrath. Unwilling to surrender their lives blindly, the inhabitants of Valdiran came together in a desperate attempt to concoct a plan that could potentially repel the monster. Though their hearts were heavy with sorrow and trepidation, a glimmer of determination flickered within their eyes. They would stand united, facing the fury of Abnayu with every ounce of strength they could muster. As night fell, cloaking the village in an ominous darkness, the villagers huddled together beneath a moonlit sky, armed with whatever weapons they could scrounge. They fortified their homes and prepared for a battle against the unimaginable. The air crackled with nervous anticipation, the villagers well aware of the unforgiving power that loomed just beyond their fragile defenses. In the dead of night, just as the village lay shrouded in a somber stillness, Abnaiu erupted from the shadows with a roar that shook the earth. The villagers steeled themselves, their blood pumping with a mixture of fear and adrenaline. They met the creature head-on, launching a barrage of arrows, spears, and whatever else they could muster, hoping to weaken its relentless assault. However, even their most valiant efforts seemed futile against the ruthless strength of Abnaiu, swiping at them indiscriminately with deadly precision. The creature tore through their defenses like paper, as if their attempts were nothing more than a mere nuisance. The battle that unfurled was a desperate struggle for survival, with each passing moment serving as a grim reminder of the overwhelming odds stacked against the villagers. And so, the malicious rampage of Abnaiu continued, bearing ever forward like a merciless storm. Its rage seemed insatiable, its hunger for destruction relentless. The fate of the village hung precariously in the balance, and the question of whether they would persevere or succumb to their doom remained unanswered, as the sun began to cast a faint glimmer of hope over the horizon. The battle between the villagers and Abnaiu reached a climactic crescendo. The clash of wills and echoes of anguish reverberated through the forest. Each blow exchanged a testament to the unyielding spirit of humanity. As dawn broke on the horizon, the village of Falderan bore witness to their worst fears. Despite their valiant efforts, the villagers had underestimated Abnaiu's insurmountable power, and their hopes dwindled amidst the chaos that ensued. Abnaiu's colossal form tore relentlessly through the village, crushing homes and lives with a single swipe of its immense claws. The once thriving community was reduced to smoldering ruins, consumed by the unquenchable fury of the creature. Panic and despair permeated the air, mingling with the acrid scent of smoke, as the villagers' valiant resistance crumbled beneath the weight of Abnaiu's relentless onslaught. The wails of the fallen mingled with the inhuman roars of the beast, forming a haunting symphony of anguish. Families were torn apart, dreams were shattered, and the once vibrant tapestry of life was reduced to naught but dust and ash. In the wake of this devastating obliteration, the spirit of Falderan dissolved into the annals of history, its memory destined to be swallowed by the relentless march of time. The dense forest that had sheltered Abnaiu for generations now stood as a silent witness to the village's demise, bearing witness to the ashen remnants that littered the ground. The creature itself, imposing and invincible, surveyed its path of destruction with satisfaction. Its grip on the land had tightened, its dominion unchallenged. From that day forth, whispers of Falderan became mere echoes in the shadows, haunting reminders of what once was. The fates of the villagers, forever sealed within the annals of tragedy, served as a cautionary tale to those who dared cross paths with Abnaiu. A shroud of fear descended upon neighboring villages as they heard of the village's ill-fated demise, their hopes and dreams forever tainted by the looming presence of the terrifying creature. The legend of Abnaiu grew, fueling tale that echoed through the land. Hunters abandoned their pursuits, shepherds sought safer pastures, and the dense forest became a place shunned in fear. The once vibrant ecosystem teemed with an eerie silence, as the creature's dominance cast a suffocating pall over every living being. Still, whispers persisted among those who dared to speak, silently defying the oppressive grip of fear. Stories of resistance emerged, tales from brave souls who dared stand against the unstoppable force that claimed Falderan, though they had faced certain doom. Their legacy spoke of the indomitable spirit that lay hidden within humanity, a spirit that refused to be completely extinguished. Yet, As the legend unfolds, it becomes evident that Abnaiu's reign of terror is far from over. Its wrath, fueled by pain and rage, now emboldened by the devastation it had wrought, seeks new territory to lay waste. The dark forest, once a sanctuary for beauty and life, has transformed into an abode of sorrow and despair. And so, the story continues, the next chapter of Abnaiu's malevolence yet to be revealed. Will there be a glimmer of hope that emerges from the shadows, or shall the darkness consume all in its path? Only time will disclose the fate of those who unknowingly stumble upon the path of the dreaded creature, and reveal whether humanity can muster the strength to face an adversary that seems invincible.